It's Wednesday, January 11th. Welcome to the News Diet. Today, I'm going to talk about the classified documents found in Biden's personal office, the Twitter files, the House's first legislative action, Jordan Peterson, and the recent violence in Mexico. Let's be informed so we can get on with our day. Classified documents have been found in a personal office of President Biden, which has caught the attention of authorities and also the media, considering just last year saw the frenzy around classified documents found in Donald Trump's personal possession that now has him under investigation for possible violations of the Espionage Act and obstruction of justice laws. Now, the 10 documents found here were discovered just days before the midterm elections on November 2nd by a personal lawyer of Biden's as he was closing out a D.C. office once used by the president. Apparently, once the lawyer realized what they were, called the National Archives and Records Administration and handed over the items. The contents of the files included matters related to Ukraine, Iran, and the UK, dating back between the years of 2013 to 2016. According to CNN, Attorney General Merrick Garland assigned Chicago U.S. Attorney John Lausch Jr. to investigate the matter, who's already handed over his preliminary findings. Now Garland will have to decide how to move forward and whether or not this warrants a fuller investigation like Trump's situation, whose Florida Mar-a-Lago property was controversially searched by the FBI in August. Trump allies are calling Biden and authorities hypocritical, as Biden once responded to classified documents being found at Trump's property by saying, quote, "How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible." And then you have Biden allies claiming that the two situations are different, saying that only 10 documents were found in Biden's office, who immediately handed them over to the National Archives upon discovery, compared to the hundreds of classified documents found with Trump, whose team was not seen as being cooperative with authorities. Before the next story, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in and following the show. If you're enjoying the News Diet, then hitting that subscribe button right now can make a massive difference in helping this show grow and reach new audiences. So if you feel compelled, please feel free to follow along permanently by becoming a subscriber. The 13th installment of the Twitter files has been released. This latest round was unveiled by journalist Alex Berenson. If you're not aware, the Twitter files has been an ongoing unveiling of the company's inner workings before Elon Musk took over. Starting last month, Musk has been hand-selecting independent journalists to release the information. Earlier installments were shared by Matt Taibbi, Bari Weiss, Michael Schellenberger, and Li Fang. So far, the information has shed light on what was previously unverified speculation. The topics have covered controversies around the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story that broke right before the 2020 presidential election, the decision behind banning former President Trump, and also the relationship between the social media company and government officials. Such is the subject matter of this latest round, which covers communication between Twitter and former FDA commissioner and sitting board member of COVID vaccine manufacturer Pfizer, Dr. Scott Gottlieb. Journalist Alex Berenson showed communications from 2021 by Gottlieb to Twitter's public policy manager, raising concerns about tweets that criticized vaccine efficacy, to which Twitter then penalized the tweets by blocking their ability to be liked or shared. It's communications like this that are compelling critics to call collusion between big tech and the government, which, if true, would be concerning, considering that big social media companies like Twitter undoubtedly drive national and global discussions today. The new GOP-led House has passed their first piece of legislation. They voted 221 to 210 to pass a bill that would revoke the majority of the funding promised to the IRS last year. An $80 billion increase in IRS funding was passed through the Inflation Reduction Act, the Democrats' massive tax, environment, and healthcare bill. This new bill is called the Family and Small Business Taxpayer Protection Act and simply calls for the undoing of any, quote, unobligated balances of amounts appropriated or otherwise made available to the IRS from the Inflation Reduction Act. In other words, it would reduce the $80 billion increase to just $9 billion, according to the Congressional Budget Office. The stated purpose of the funding boost was to be able to crack down on tax revenues from large corporations and the nation's wealthiest individuals. Proponents of the funding say that the IRS expansions savings would not affect middle and lower class taxpayers. But critics are skeptical, claiming that the expansion would indeed affect taxpayers of all economic brackets. Even though the legislation passed the House, it's unlikely to pass the Democratic-controlled Senate, and even less likely to get passed by Biden. Controversial Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson has announced a legal challenge against the College of Psychologists of Ontario for threatening to pull his practicing license if he doesn't comply with the social media re-education program. If you're unaware, Jordan Peterson was a practicing psychologist for 20 years before becoming a public figure around 2016 when his lectures grew a massive following on social media. Since then, he's focused mostly on his writing, lecturing outside of the classroom, as well as consistently appearing on various media outlets. His messaging focuses on personal development in the form of personal responsibility, courage, and finding order in one's life. He's also been a harsh critic of what he calls authoritarian policies such as COVID lockdowns and woke ideologies. Because of this, he's grown a vocal group of critics who accuse his messaging of also being misogynist and anti-trans. This is thanks to tweets posted calling out trans actor Elliot Page and also plus-size model Yumi Nu. These criticisms are seemingly the ones behind the CPO's requirement that he be so-called re-educated. In addition to his legal challenge, Dr. Peterson has also said that he'll make the re-education program public if forced to take it. Last week, authorities detained a Video Guzman, the son of famous drug cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. He was wanted for his contributions to his father's cartel, apparently serving in a senior role within the group. Although detained, his arrest caused a violent exchange between the Mexican military and Guzman's followers. They burned cars and exchanged gunfire, leaving almost 30 people dead, the destruction of the city's government palace, as well as claims of up to 140 missing people. The chaos even prompted Canada to put out a travel advisory recommending that all non-essential travel to the area be canceled. This began just days before President Biden's trip to Mexico for a 3-day summit. You've just been informed, so now it's time to get on with your day. I'm Michele Carroll. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode and want to continue following a healthier alternative for staying informed, where I forgo partisan fighting and fear-driven narratives and just get to the point, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button, as of course you'll get more of this show in your feed, and also you'll be helping this new channel grow and reject sensational media. Thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.